Hey guys, welcome back, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how we can have our player gain health when they collide with something, or maybe kind of like pick up a health pot, or maybe they're stepping into a certain area that regenerates their health. So that's what we're going to be doing today, so stay tuned. So this was a request that came from the player's help bar video. One of our trusted subscribers requested a way that the player can collide with something and then gain health. So I'm thinking maybe he's created some sort of like health pot or something like that. So the script remained the same from before. I press space and the health bar goes down, and this is what the script will look like. So if you're just getting started and you want to be able to set up this sort of thing, check out that video, because the script will be continuing from that video, and I have the link in description for the help bar video. So let's get started by creating our health pot or something. I'll just go ahead and create a 3D game object. Let me actually head back into my scene view and 3D view, and I'm just going to bring this over to the center of the world, just like that. And then I might just make it a little bit smaller. I'm not going to spend too much time making it all cool or anything. A little smaller, little health pot, and I will place it about right here. Okay. So I will make it a trigger, just say his trigger on there, which simply means one thing, that the collision, now the object can actually go through the collision. If it was not trigger, then the object player will not be able to go through it. As you can see, he can't do it. All right, so with the is trigger, it'll be really nice. Just bling, pick it up, gain health like that. All right. So on this health pot, let's just go ahead and I'll call it health pot. And I've created a tag. You should know how to create tags, so I'm not going to show tutorials on that. I've created a tag, and I've just tagged it HP. This is not like important right now, because previously I thought maybe I'll make it so that the gain health ability will happen right here on the player script itself. But we're going to create a separate script for the on trigger. For when something triggers this, it will check to see if it's the player, and therefore award the player with a certain amount of health. So just give the player a tag. Now just tag it player. This is a standard tag that comes with the project, so you don't have to create a player tag. And I will then create a script, and this will be my health pot script. I'm going to target the health pot and just drag the health pot script and drop it on it. Boop, just like that. I will double click to open up the health pot script so we can get started. First thing to do though is back into the player script though, where we created the max health and the slider and all of that. We need, for the slider value, that equal to current health, and then the color, you know how the health bar changes color based on the slider value. We need all these two to be within the update function so that they continuously update immediately. So we just put them right there inside the update function. Finally, I'll create a public function, so public void, and I'll just call this one gain health. And in the parameter here, I will put a float, and I'll just call this HP. And then in here, create the body for the function. The reason I'm doing this is so that you can have different health pots. So you can have some major, some minor health pots, and they can each give the player a different amount of health on collision. So I'm using trigger, but you can use collision if you wanted to. Now I'll show you where you would set that up. So what I want to do here is to quickly check to make sure that the current health is less than or equal to max health, because we don't want to go over. If that's the case, then we're simply going to say current health plus equals HP. So we only increase the health if it's not already max. That's all. If it's less than max health, I think is all we need. Yeah, if it's less than max health, then we increase it. Because if it's the same, then we don't need to increase it at all. So just if it's less than max health. And so this script is all set. That was the only two changes. Putting these two in the update, so they're always being updated. And then the public function here that allows the player to gain health. I'll hit save all, and now over to the health pot. The health pot, we won't need much. Let's just create a public float, and this will be the amount of health that we want. Let's just call it healing. Oops, can't spell today. Healing. The amount of healing that this health pot will give the player. And you can reuse this script for all of your health pots. So since I set it to trigger, I'll use the on trigger. My IntelliSense let me down right now, so I have to type it out myself. On trigger, enter. It's a capital T. On trigger, enter. And then it's collider, and then I'll just call it other, and then the function there. I'm surprised that it's not popping up with the on collision. Okay, on trigger, enter. Since I enter trigger, I want to access this script and fire off this function and send them the amount of health that he's supposed to get. So all I need is a reference to the script, and I'll make it private by not making it public. So it's called move. Move CS is what I called it. So move, and then I'll just call this player script. So this is the player script. It's called move. And so when you know what? Better idea. Forget that. Scratch that. We'll access it through the collider. So on trigger, there's a function that fires off when anything enters a trigger, and then it sends us the information about the collider of the other object. So since you have the collider, you can easily access the script because other represents the collider of the other object. So if other, we'll check the transform and check the tag to make sure it is equal to the player. Don't forget it's capital P for the default player tag. So play P. So if it is the player, then we're going to access the other dot transform, and then just get the component, and the component that's on the player's call. Move, I believe it's lowercase m. Move, just like that. Now that we're inside that script, we can say dot gain health. There it is. And we can send it the amount that we wanted, which is the healing. That should do it. Finally, we need to wrap this one up by, Healthpot's gotta go, man. Healthpot's gotta go. We just say this dot game object. Get rid of the Healthpot. All right. So that should do it. We'll save. So one variable, float healing. This on trigger enter should happen when the player touches it. Checks to make sure the player is the player and not just like some sort of collateral, projectiles, that just, other stuff that's going on in your game that touches it. You want to make sure it's the player, so make sure only the player is tagged with player. Then it will get its component, get access the script, access the public function that is called gain health. It sends the amount that we want to send. Then on this script, it takes care of the other piece of logic to make sure that it needs to gain health. Eventually, after that, just delete the health pot because we don't need it. So with that, save everything. I just like to hit the save all button, boop, just like that, and head back to Unity. Now in Unity, here's the health pot, and I can say, well, this one gives me 50 health. In fact, I can create another health pot, and I'll put this one here and this one right here. This one gave me 50 health. And this one will give me 400 health. In fact, let me also give it a color. It's my 50, 400. 50 and then 400 health. So the player by default, I did set him up with 500 health. So let's check if this worked as intended. I play. I'm gonna hit space, lower my health, boom, 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 boom. Then go touch this. You can see my health went up a little bit, and the health pot's gone. And then I'll go touch this one, boop, and I got a big boost of health there. And if I hit space, my health goes back down as it should. So yeah, that's it. In fact, you can enable debugging to see private variables. And so like the current health right here is going to be set to max health. So if I hit play, see, it's 500. As I hit spacebar, see how it drops. And so let me get it down to an even number, like 300. And then you can see when I go and touch this, boop, it goes up to 350. And then I'll go back down a lot, boom, 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 boom. And then it should go up now to 475 because this health pot should give me 400. So let's go ahead and touch it. Boom, 475. And there you have it. So in case you guys didn't see the last video, I am taking in requests, and this is just an example of that. I'm taking in those requests for anything that you guys need to see how to do. Any issues you guys might be having with Unity or anything like that, just send them in the comments. And just like this video, I'll make them, and I'll catch you in the next one. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like. Let's do this, people. All right, bye-bye.